All right, let's dive in. We are cracking the code on Bitcoin today. Now, you've heard the stories, right? The people who became millionaires overnight. And you've probably thought to yourself, man, I missed that boat. But what if that whole way of thinking is just wrong? Let's unpack the blueprint that shows why this journey might be just getting started. This is the big one. It's the number one reason people just watch from the sidelines. You hear it all the time. It's this powerful feeling of regret. This idea that the gold rush is over and you're just too late to the party. We see those headlines and think that door has slammed shut. But here's the thing. That belief, it is the single most costly myth in the world of finance right now. It has quietly cost more people a shot at building real wealth than any big dramatic market crash you've ever seen on the news. So let's really dig into why that thinking is so flawed. See, the secret to building wealth with Bitcoin was never really about being the first one in. It was, and it still is, about having the right blueprint, a plan. A plan built on strategy, a little bit of patience, and a real understanding of what this thing actually is. And that's exactly the blueprint we're going to lay out for you today. Okay, before you even think about putting a single dollar into this, the first and honestly the most important investment you have to make is in your own head. The crypto market is a total psychological battlefield, and if you don't get your mindset right from the start, trust me, you will be your own worst enemy. And this right here, this explains everything. You have two types of people. The speculator, they're all about getting rich quick. They're driven by greed and then by fear. The second the price dips, they panic and sell. But then you have the farmer. The farmer gets it. They know that real value grows over seasons, not days. They plant their seed, they water it, and they trust the process. This is the fundamental shift you have to make. And this is what it looks like to think like a farmer. A speculator sees the price drop 50% and they freak out. It's a disaster. But a farmer with a plan, they see a 50% discount. It's a fire sale. This is when you realize that Bitcoin's famous volatility isn't a bug. For the patient investor, it's actually a feature. So, what's going to keep you grounded when those market storms inevitably hit? It all comes down to this one question. Why are you even doing this? Seriously, is it for financial freedom? Is it to buy a house for your family? Your why is your anchor. It's the thing that stops you from making dumb, emotional decisions when everyone else around you is losing their minds. Figure it out and then write it down. Okay, so you've got the farmer's mindset locked in. Now we can get to the fun stuff, the what and the how, because all that long-term patience, it's only possible if you have real conviction in what you're buying. And that conviction doesn't come from hype on the internet. It comes from understanding the engine that makes this whole thing run. This number, 21 million. This is the heart of the entire blueprint. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin, period. Unlike dollars or euros, which governments can print more and more of whenever they want, Bitcoin's supply is totally fixed. It's written in the code. This is a level of predictable scarcity that we've just never seen before in something digital. It's exactly why people call it digital gold. So what makes that number stick? The blockchain. Just imagine a global public record book of every single transaction copied onto thousands and thousands of computers all over the world. Now, if you wanted to change something in that book, you'd have to hack all of those computers at the exact same time. It's basically impossible. It's a fortress of trust, but it's built on pure math, not on big banks or middlemen who can make mistakes. So we've got the right mindset. We understand the basics of the tech. How do we actually act on this? Well, this right here is the golden key. It's called dollar cost averaging, or DCA, and it is without a doubt the most powerful and stress-free strategy for the average person. You're not trying to be a genius and time the market, which, by the way, is impossible. You're just slowly and steadily accumulating over time. And the best part is, it is ridiculously simple. Step 1, pick an amount you can actually afford, something comfortable. Maybe it's $50, maybe it's $100. Step 2, pick a regular time to do it. Every Friday, the first of every month, whatever. And step 3, and this is the most important part, you automate it. And then you do your absolute best to just ignore it. When the price is high, your money buys a little less. When the price is low, during those fire sales, it buys a whole lot more. It's simple, it's effective, and it takes all the emotion out of the game. So when you put it all together, the entire blueprint really just rests on these 3 pillars. First, our smart buying strategy, DCA. Second, you gotta secure your stuff. This means getting your Bitcoin off the website where you bought it and onto what's called a hardware wallet. It's a little device that keeps it all offline, totally under your control. It's how you really become your own bank. And third,
patience. Just remembering that it's about time in the market, not trying to time the market.
So you have the mindset, you have the strategy. But what are we actually trying to achieve here? What's a realistic goal? This is where we need to make one last but really crucial shift in how we think about this. We have to move away from lottery ticket thinking.
This is it. This is the key. For most people, the goal isn't to own one whole Bitcoin. I mean, that feels almost impossible for a lot of us. The real goal is to own a percentage of this finite network of 21 million units. Even a tiny fraction of a scarce asset can become incredibly valuable over time. Let's just play with some potential numbers for a second. The value of all the gold in the world is something like $12 trillion. If Bitcoin, as digital gold, manages to capture even a piece of that, a price of $1 million per coin isn't crazy. It's just math. And at that kind of valuation, owning just 1/10 of a Bitcoin would be worth $100,000. And that's the kind of stake you build, piece by tiny piece, with your DCA plan. So after all of this, the mindset, the tech, the strategy, what's the final secret ingredient that makes it all click? Well, it's not a secret at all. It's discipline. It's the simple, kind of boring, relentless consistency of sticking to your plan. Sticking to it when the news is scary and sticking to it when everyone's getting way too excited. The blueprint is worthless without the discipline to actually follow it. And that brings us right back around to the beginning, doesn't it? The question was never, has the ship sailed? The real question is this: now that you have the blueprint, do you have the courage and the discipline to get on board? The opportunity is right there. The choice, as always, is yours.